In 1971, a 24-year-old man named Walter Cole was sentenced to 7 25 to 30-year terms in prison. He was released 23 years later, but soon found himself bouncing back and forth between drug rehab centers and eventually a mental institution. So in none of these places did he succeed in turning his life around. It was at this mental institution where a counselor asked him, "Walter, what's it going to take for you to turn your life around?" And he said, "Well, I've tried everything. I've tried everything but God." That's when the counselor referred him to the Durham Rescue Mission. So the Durham Rescue Mission was founded in 1974, and it had one simple goal: to mend the shattered lives of people in the Durham area and the surrounding neighborhoods. These are neighborhoods you may very well have driven through yourself. I've driven through these neighborhoods. I've driven past the Durham Rescue Mission thrift stores, and I've driven past that big apartment building that says Durham Rescue Mission on the side. And I've often wondered, what's this all about? What do they do there? Luckily, I've had some friends who've invited me to some fundraising fish fries to support the mission, and they've educated me. I've done some independent research, and I've learned even more. And this is what I've learned, is that the Durham Rescue Mission, the Durham Rescue Mission helps people help people. The financial assistance you give to the mission doesn't just put a Band-Aid on a problem. The financial aid you give helps the people who are helping the people in need someday become those people helping, the paid staff and the volunteers. So it's a wonderful organization to support. This regeneration and the cyclical process of people helping people is it's infectious. So it's a great organization to support. And today we're going to talk about the needs of the organization. We're going to talk about what we can do to help, and we're going to talk about the impact we'll have if we do. So let's begin by talking about the needs. So according to DurhamRescueMission.org, in the Triangle area there are 2,000 people on any given night who are on the streets. So this group is comprised of men, women, and children. And many of these people are battling drug addiction, and many of them have lost their faith in God. The rescue mission has grown very much over the past few years. They can now accommodate up to 270 men in their men's facility. They can accommodate up to 130 women, children, and families in a separate facility. On especially cold nights when frostbite and hypothermia are concerned, they can even accommodate up to an additional 45 people in an emergency shelter area. But all these things require funding. The rescue mission also offers 3 meals a day and clean clothing. But again, they're not just trying to put a Band-Aid on the problem. They're trying to get these people back on their feet and help them be contributing members of society. So to that end, they often give vocational training and employment assistance, financial planning, biblical counseling, even educational programs like a GED program. And again, all these programs require funding. So obviously one of the major needs of the Durham Rescue Mission is the need for money. So we talked a little bit about the needs. Let's talk about what we can do to help. Well, first of all, pray. Like I said, many of these people have lost their faith in God. Well, many of these people have found their faith in God through the Durham Rescue Mission. So we need to pray for these people. We need to pray for the 2,000 people in the Triangle who are on the streets every night. Pray for the volunteers helping them. Pray for the paid staff and volunteers and everyone who's supporting the mission. I've already alluded to the need for money. Well, if you visit the website, you'll read a story about this little boy who broke open his piggy bank and gave the $13 inside to the mission. It doesn't have to be much. I also mentioned the thrift stores that I drive by sometimes. Well, we all have things at our house that we don't need anymore. I see you looking around. You can probably see a bunch of things at my house right now we don't need anymore. But these are things we don't need, and we can give. They have value. We can give them to the thrift stores. They can sell them. The money that is used to purchase those can go to help fund the mission. And many of the people working at these thrift stores are actually people from the mission. So you're giving jobs too. So you can also give food and clothing and personal hygiene items, Bibles, tools, and those go directly to the people at the mission. If you visit the website, you'll also find information on how to donate old cars and set up some scheduled giving in your bank account, so you don't even have to think about it. So there are many ways to help fund the mission, many ways to help. So we talked a little bit about the needs. We've talked about how we can help. Let's talk about the impact we'll have if we do. So there's a famous evangelist, George Whitefield. He was an evangelist during the First Great Awakening. After a revival once, he was asked by somebody how many people were saved. And I think the person asking was wondering, how many people came down? How many people came down for the altar call, and how many heads did you count? But the question was, how many people were saved? And to that, George Whitefield replied, we'll see. Because it takes time for lasting life change to happen. And you know, I love soup kitchens. I love how people can go in and have a nice warm meal, but you know, after your bowl of soup and an hour of warmth and maybe a little bit of fellowship, they're gone. So the Durham Rescue Mission really invests time in people. And this is what's really important. So a popular phrase attributed to the Jewish philosopher Maimonides is, give a man a fish, feed him for a day, teach a man to fish, and feed him for a lifetime. Well, that's exactly what the Durham Rescue Mission does. It teaches men to fish. It teaches people who need help to help others. It teaches people who are broken how to help fix others. And it teaches people who need to be saved how to share the love of Jesus Christ with others. So this is the true impact of the Durham Rescue Mission. So we talked a bit about the needs, we've talked a little bit about how we can help, and now we've talked about the impact. With that, I challenge you to match that donation of $13 from that little boy. I challenge you to find something around your house that you don't need anymore and donate it to one of these thrift stores. Help one of these people get a job and help these people get some of the things they need. So if you remember that man, Walter Cole, from the beginning of our talk, the man who said, I've tried everything but God. Well, he found God at the Durham Rescue Mission. And he ended up serving at the Durham Rescue Mission for 8 years. And unfortunately he died, but he didn't die in prison. And he didn't die homeless. He died helping others, walking in the same shoes that he once walked. And there are many other men like Walter Cole out there that need your help today. So with that, I challenge you to give, to donate, to share your blessings that you've been given with other people, and to support the Durham Rescue Mission. All right.